they jump away, and they now only have 19 fences to cross. It would have been 21, but they're still omitting that third last fence. The first fence, Rince in the striped jacket, with old Go Ballistic on the inside. Legal Right on the inner next of Paris Pike in the black. And then the back pair, Lord Noailly in green, and the blue body, green sleeves, Cypher Malta, last of the half dozen, with just under 2 circuits to cover. And Rince and Ruby Walsh, riding for his father Ted, making the running to Go Ballistic. Go Ballistic, the 13-year-old, Joe Tizard in the saddle, earlier successful, of course, on Vol Solitaire. As they jump the second, Paris Pike on the outside, then Legal Right, Lord Noailly and Cypher Malta. Cypher Malta, winner of this race in 1999. The next is the water jump. Rince from Go Ballistic. Go Ballistic second in a Gold Cup here. Now a 13-year-old though, as they jump the open ditch. Paris Pike, a mistake there. Legal Right on the right. Over on the far side, Lord Noailly and Cypher Malta under heavy restraint in these early stages. Jump the next plain fence. Paris Pike again, not completely convincing over that fence. Jump right-handed. And now another open ditch. Go Ballistic on the inside of Rince. Legal Right in third. Paris Pike, Lord Noailly, and Cypher Malta and Tony McCoy. Tony content to look on. Approaching the 7th. Go Ballistic takes over at this point from Rince. Legal Right in third place, and Richard Johnson. It was 3 months ago at Exeter that Richard broke his leg. He only returned at Plumpton on Thursday, just beaten by McCoy in a close finish at Doncaster yesterday, so still looking for his first winner back. And they jumped that tricky fence where Aaron Boy so nearly came to grief in the last. A long run now until they're required to jump again as they bypass this next fence. Just to remind you that in our next race, the Cleve Hurdle, important affection in that, Hors-la-Loi. So these ground conditions today tending to persuade 1 or 2 trainers to fight shy and wait for another day. They've nearly completed a circuit, and it's Rince on the outside of Go Ballistic. 3 lengths to Legal Right, half length to Paris Pike, then Lord Noailly and Cypher Malta. Pretty good jumps all round there. On to the 10th, it'll be the 19th after another trip round Prestbury Park. And it may be very soft ground, but these horses are jumping immaculately. Or at least they have been so far. As they turn away in front of the stands. Go Ballistic from Rince. Jim, John, they all seem to be going okay at the moment.
Yeah, they've got a nice even gallop, the 2 in front. They seem to be jumping best out of the conditions at the moment, Simon. Very often the way you get horses in front, nothing to bother them, not having to adjust their stride at the last minute. And Tony McCoy at the moment just biding his time, just doesn't want to switch Cypher Malta on too quickly, gets him into the race, starts running a little bit free. But at the moment, they'll be just thinking about beginning to make their way, get into a decent position before they get to the top of the hill, so that they can just sit and have a little bit of a tow coming down at Edinburgh home.
I just wonder how Lord Noailly is travelling at the moment. Just a hint that Jim Cullity was niggling for a stride or 2 on the right of frame. That's not his ideal ground. Came quite close with Cypher Malta over that ditch. It's still Rince from Go Ballistic. Legal Right in third, Paris Pike. Lord Noailly and Cypher Malta. McCoy just asking Cypher Malta for a good jump there, and he received one from the 9-year-old. Both Cypher Malta and Lord Knowley are definitely a bit closer than they were, squelching their way towards the next open ditch. Rinkaree, a mistake. Go Ballistic on the inside, jumped it better. Eagle right, Paris Pike on the wide outside, Lord Knowley. And then the menacing McCoy in last place, but close up on Cypher Malta, the next plain fence. All safely over again. Paris Pike just being pushed along in 5th now. Lord Knowley's improved into 3rd as they make this top turn. They've only got 3 fences to jump, but they're far enough from the finish. 1 or 2 riders beginning to ask some questions now. McCoy's niggling on Cypher Malta. So they run down towards this 3rd last now. Rinkaree in front, and his jumping's falling apart. This Irish horse, that's 2 consecutive mistakes. Go Ballistic on his inside, and then Lord Knowley and Legal Right, Cypher Malta and Paris Pike. Down the hill in the Pillar Property Chase. Renowned trial for the Gold Cup. Ground conditions could be very different come March. But who's going to win today? It's Go Ballistic and Joe Tizard going as well as anything now from Rinkaree. Then Legal Right on the outside. Cypher Malta working his way into 4th place. Then Lord Knowley, who's just beginning to struggle, one feels. Paris Pike, Rinkaree challenging Go Ballistic. Legal Right on the outside as they stretch now for the 2nd last. Go Ballistic takes over again from Rinkaree, and then Legal Right running towards 2 out then. Go Ballistic on the inside, Rinkaree in the centre. Legal Right out wide, Go Ballistic. He had a bit of a guess at it, but he got to the other side. Rinkaree is coming back to challenge him again though. Then Legal Right on the outside. Cypher Malta's making no impression. The Irish horse gets back to the lead now for Ruby Walsh. At the last, Rinkaree, Go Ballistic getting tired. Then Legal Right and Cypher Malta, and running up the hill. And despite 2 terrible mistakes, Rinkaree is forging clear now from Go Ballistic. Legal Right on the near side under a right-hand drive from Richard Johnson. Rinkaree is tying up in the last 50 yards, but he's still 4 to 5 lengths clear. And Rinkaree wins the Pillar Property Chase. Legal Right in 2nd. Go Ballistic, another tremendous run at Cheltenham in 3rd. Cypher Malta was 4th. Lord Knowley got very leg weary in 5th. And then last was Paris Pike. How Rinkaree stood up at the 3rd last, I'll never know. And what a horse he must be to come back from that mistake to beat his 5 rivals here in this Gold Cup trial. He ran well in the Gold Cup a couple of years ago. His jumping let him down then, and it's always got to be a question mark. But he's slowly come back to form this season. The money came for him here at Cheltenham today. He was plunged on in the betting. Perhaps another Irish gamble has been landed. Rinkaree in the colours, Mr. F.M. Moriarty, trained by Ted Walsh, ridden by Ruby Walsh, outstays them up the Cheltenham Hill.
And the Irish have paid for their Cheltenham Festival expenses. A right gamble landed by that Rinkaree from 10 to 1 returned. The 9 to 2 clear 3rd favourite is Legal Right at 6 to 1, with Go Ballistic 3rd at 16 to 1. Cypher Malta was 13 to 8 favourite, finished 4th. 5th was Lord Knowley at 11 to 4, and Paris Pike was last at 16 to 1. And that Rinkaree, from making up, of course, for Dawn Run's terrible run in this race in 1986, wins by 3.5 lengths and 2.5 lengths. And Ruby Walsh, I don't know about you lads there, this must surely be one of the rides of the season. He gave that Rinkaree. It was on the floor virtually twice at least, Rinkaree. Huge applause going round here, around the stands for Ruby Walsh coming back. What a terrific jockey he is. Ted Walsh, and the money's down, the horses go. But you were clearly told before the race, this was the one, Rinkaree. And I ask you, greatest jockey, Ruby Walsh, that's one of the great rides of the season. He gave that horse there.
Certainly did give it a good ride, and it was a little bit reminiscent of Tony McCoy on West Ender. We saw at the last meeting here. Always up there in the first 2. Looked like he was maybe just getting the worst of it for a moment with Go Ballistic. But he's a strong lad, Ruby Walsh, and his dad will be proud of him. They landed a good in a few moments where